Can I ask you something real quick? If something unexpected happened today, maybe it happens later this month, a car repair, a medical bill, a job loss, would your life stay stable or would everything start to fall apart? Because for a lot of men, it only takes one crisis to expose how fragile things really are. Most men, they think that their problem is income. They think if I just made more money, everything would be fine. But that's not actually the problem. The real problem is this. Most men, they actually don't have financial margin. And without margin, even a strong man can feel like he's constantly one step away from collapse. But on today, I'm gonna show you actually how to fix that. Because here's the truth. You don't feel stressed because you're weak. You feel stressed because your life has no breathing room. And when there's no margin, every problem actually feels like a threat. But once you build margin, everything starts to change. Over the past years, I've learned 4 systems that actually creates financial stability. And most men, they're missing at least 3 of them. All right, we're gonna actually break them down step by step on today. Because for me, I got 99 problems, but money isn't one of them. What's going on, everyone? So if you're wondering, yes, I did quote Jay-Z, I got 99 problems. And the reason why I use that quote is because honestly, it's always a problem for men. And what I mean by it's a problem for men is money. Money tends to be in our top 3 problems. Typically it's family, money, work, or it could be family, money, relationship, or it may be money, work, relationship. Don't know how it is for you, but I can tell you this, money, it's always in the top 3. So when I tell you I know this feeling personally, I'm serious, all right? Waking up thinking about money, tossing and turning all night with money concerns on your mind, I get it. You're doing the math in your head and you're trying to make everything stretch. You're carrying responsibility for your family, but feeling like one mistake, it could set everything back. That's not just financial pressure, all right? That's actually mental pressure. And over time, that pressure, it turns into stress, burnout, and eventually it becomes fear. And here's where things start to actually make sense. Most men, we actually don't lack effort. They don't. They lack structure. And because of that, they don't have what I would say is a financial buffer. And what this means is money comes in and it goes right back out. They're left with no cushion. There's no cushion for them. And because there's no cushion, there's no protection. I can tell you this, the lack of structure, it causes lifestyle creep, which means as income increases, such as you get a raise on your job, you get a bonus, expenses also increases. You tend to get a fancier car, you go on an expensive vacation. So nothing actually changes. And a lack of structure means there's no system, which means there's no plan. There's no automation. There's no structure whatsoever. You're tending to just react to things. You're just reacting. And let me ask you something honestly. I want you to be honest with yourself. If your income stopped for, let's say, 30 days, what would happen? Would you be okay? Or would things start to actually break immediately? That answer right there, that should tell you everything. Here's the truth that most men and most people, they actually miss this. Financial stability, it's not about income. It's about margin. And I can say margin, it's the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is what creates peace. It's what creates control. And it gives you options. Without it, you're always going to be under pressure. And if you don't build margin, I can say this. There's 4 hidden consequences that they're automatically going to show up in your life. Maybe not today or maybe not tomorrow, but eventually they're going to come knocking. All right? Those consequences are you're constantly going to be stressed. That's first. You're always going to be thinking about money. It's always going to be in the back of your mind. You're not going to be able to do anything, right? I almost said you're not even going to want to be intimate with your spouse or your significant other or whatever because you're always focused on money. And if I'm being honest, I know that feeling. All right? Because you're going to be constantly stressed about money. The second thing is you're going to make bad decisions. All right? You're going to make short-term choices under pressure versus thinking about the long-term impact. So that to me, that's a bad decision. All right? The third thing is there's no flexibility. Opportunities, they're going to constantly pass you by. And if it doesn't pass you by, if the opportunity comes knocking, you're not ready, but they're ready to bring you in, you're not even going to have the financial flexibility to get in on this opportunity. All right? The fourth thing, it's an emotional weight. Literally will carry everything mentally. And when you're carrying everything mentally, you may think it's not a problem, but it really is, because your facial expressions, your body language, it all shows. It shows that you're carrying a heavy weight. And I know this can be tough and frustrating to deal with, but it's 100% true. And the truth puts you on the correct path. So for me, this is where everything starts to change once you accept the truth. All right. There are 4 systems that can create financial margin for you though. So I want you to make sure you're writing these down. All right. System 1, so that you don't have to deal with the consequences, is the survival gap. Your first goal, it's simple. Create a gap between your income and expenses. Even $100. If that's all you got, that matters. If your monthly income is $4,000, then your expenses shouldn't exceed $3,900. And hopefully you can create a larger gap. But if needed, let's start small. Like I said, even $100 matters. All right. System 2 is the buffer fund. This is where you're going to build 1 to 3 months of expenses and save it. If your monthly expenses are $3,900, then that's 1 month. You need to put that to the side. You need to get to the point where you have $3,900 put to the side for 1 month of expenses. All right. If you want to do that 2 months, then that's $7,800 saved. All right. And then if you want the 3 months, that's $11,700 saved. This to me, this is what you call protection. And I can tell you this, you're going to need protection in emergency situations. System 3 is the income expansion. You need to figure out or look into how you can increase your earning capacity. All right, there's different things like skills that you can monetize, you can get promotions on your job, and there's side hustles that help you to grow your income and margin as well. All right, you got to figure out how to increase your income. System 4 is expense control system. You track and you control your spending. Basically, this is just another way of saying you got to learn how to budget. And I'm not telling you that you can't buy yourself anything, but make better financial decisions. I can say this, most of the things that I've bought in life, or I'm not going to say most, a lot of things that I've bought in life, right? They weren't needs. They were wants. All right. And what that means is I didn't really need it. I wanted it. And after it, I'm not going to say I regretted it, but I was like, I don't even need it. So it was just a waste of money. What I would suggest you do is before you buy something, think about it. Wait a day or two. Most likely, if it's still not pressing on you, you more so just want it versus needing it. Understand this. It's not about restriction. It's about intention. And before I get out of here, I want to actually show you how to actually implement this into your life right away. All right. What you got to do is you basically just start here. First, you got to track every dollar for 30 days. And I can tell you this, you would be amazed how much money you actually have if you actually started tracking your income. The second thing would be cut unnecessary expenses. And basically, I want you to cancel all your subscriptions that you don't use. All right. A lot of us, we got all these different subscriptions on our phone and we don't even use them. We got these different apps that we're paying for and you don't use them. So get rid of them. The third thing is automate savings. Automate money to basically move from your check-ins to your savings. even if it's $100. I can say when I first started automating my savings, I started with 25 bucks because that's the season I was in my life. So if I was you, just move some money, move it and make sure it's automated. All right. The fourth thing is increase your income strategically. Sign up for Fiverr, edit some videos, sell some old items around your house. I'm sure if you look around your house, all that stuff that you purchased, that you wanted and you didn't need, sell it. All right. That's how you get some more income. All right. If you don't want to do that, DoorDash, Uber, doesn't matter. Just figure out how to make some more money. I can say it's that simple, but it's powerful. When you build financial margin, you stop reacting to life and you start controlling it. Problems, they don't actually feel like emergencies. They actually feel manageable. And I've been rushing because I wanted to get all this information out to you, so that's why I'm trying to slow down. But you actually start to feel calmer. You get more focused. You're more in control. I can say a strong man, he doesn't just earn money. He actually builds stability. He builds margin. He builds a life that doesn't break under pressure. I can say your family, they don't just need income. They need security. They need peace. They need you at your best. All right. So if you've ever felt like you're one step away from financial stress, I want you to do me a favor. Comment margin. I want to see how many of us have actually been here. And if you're ready to build real stability in your life, make sure you subscribe because the next video is actually going to show you how to increase your income without burning yourself out. Later.